Good evening, you're watching Insight. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Our big focus on the show today. First, the news of Rajinikanth's big move on April the 2nd rattled everyone. Rumours of his joining politics flew high, but NewsX was the first channel to dispel all such rumours as Rajini's agent Riyaz Ahmed cleared the air today when we broke that story early on. No big meeting next week, said his agent with his fans. Who's prompting rumours then? Some are asking of Rajini's political leap. He's not said a word, remember. Is Rajini being hounded by fake news to force him to keep rejecting politics? Take a look at the news story and then we'll open it up for debate.
Since 1996, many political parties have tried to cash in on Rajinikanth's stardom. Many great political leaders of today tried to persuade him into joining their political outfits, but failed to make him take the political leap. Hounded by the fringe recently, rumours swelled up that Rajinikanth will finally begin his tryst with politics on 2nd of April. But NewsX was the first channel to bust the news. Rajinikanth's PR agent cleared the air and trashed any such inclination of Rajinikanth towards politics.
The news is circulation happening, saying that Mr. Rajinikanth is meeting his fans club members on the coming second.
Yeah.
As of yet, nothing is like that. I don't know who has spreaded this kind of news. Yeah, it is not Rajini sir is going to meet fans, and it is not related to any kind of promotion activity for connecting the movies.
Following reports of a possible meeting by superstar Rajinikanth with his fans on April 2nd triggered a slew of speculation that he is going to announce his big decision of entering politics. However, Rajini's PRO has dismissed these reports and has confirmed that there is no meeting either on the 2nd of April or in the near future.
The superstar rules people's hearts. His support for any political party can sway the mandate, like in 1996, when he extended support to Karunanidhi and Jayalalitha faced a huge rout in the polls. Will rumour mongering serve any purpose? First slammed by fringe groups when Rajinikanth decided to visit Sri Lanka, now hounded by fake news. So who's prompting rumours of Rajinikanth's political leap while he has not said a word? Has Rajini become a soft target for netas who fear his pops? So who's prompting rumours of Rajinikanth's political leap while he has not said a word? Has Rajini become a soft target for netas who fear his popularity? Bureau Report, NewsX.
Well, let's open this up now. Professor Madhav Nalapath, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, is joining us live in our studios. S. Murari, political analyst, is live with us from Chennai this evening. Sudha Ramalingam, senior lawyer, also joining us from Chennai. And Vinoba Bhupati, spokesperson of the PMK, also joins us from Chennai this evening. If I can begin with you, Mr. Murari, it was very interesting when these rumours swirled thick and fast that there was going to be a big public meet this weekend, on April the 2nd to be precise, of Rajinikanth with his fan groups. People had already set their alarm clocks for April the 2nd, marked the date on their calendar, and then came the big denial on NewsX's agent saying there was now no such meeting ever scheduled. He's quite surprised that these rumours swirled in the first place. What's behind this? Mr. Murari, is it no coincidence that there's a bipole around the corner, a very crucial bipole that all parties are, of course, vying for? Is there more to it? Mr. Murari.
No, he has made it time and again that he is not interested in entering politics. If others spread the rumours, he is not responsible for that. Secondly, it is his choice. There was a time in all his movies he sent a so-called punch dialogue that he would enter politics at the right time. Then later on he made it clear it is all meant for movie promotion. He had no intention of entering politics because he has fans in all the political parties. At a time, there was a time when he was close to Karunanidhi, and he was also close to G.K. Mopanar, and he has a good relation with BJP leaders. So in such a situation, he doesn't want to antagonize any fan who is a follower of any of these political parties. He is concerned mainly with his career as an actor. And every now and then he may make a statement, but it will always be not very clear and forthright. That is, Rajini, for you. Whether he may enter politics or not, that is his decision, and anybody can enter politics.
Yeah.
And when he takes a decision, let us see what impact it will have in Tamil Nadu. Right now, he is unknown quantity and is overrated. Let us see what happens.
Mr. Bhupati, could he swing the election in the favor of whichever candidate or party he supports? Is that why there are some parties who fear he's joining politics actively, and there are some who, of course, desire his support, like Mr. Gangai Maran, who put up that photograph, ostensibly claiming the support of Rajinikanth for the RK Nagar bypolls before Rajini himself had to put out a tweet saying that he's supporting no one in these elections. Mr. Bhupati, you are also from the PMK. Do you fear him? If he backs the BJP, that you would be swept aside by the Rajini wave, not the Modi wave, but the Rajini wave. And if he supports PMK, then you would come into power possibly. How do you look at this, Mr. Bhupati? Do political parties really fear the power of Rajinikanth?
No, not at all. I think you're hyping the matter about too much. You're hyping it too much. This is not the issue. See, I'll tell you, for past so many years, Mr. Rajinikanth has made it time and again that he's not going to enter politics. Even the recent letter which he wrote on response to some of the parties, he has very clearly said that he is an entertainer and he's not a politician. Now we have to understand very important now. Now all these things are happening on behalf of some producers, the movie crew. I think this is commercial interest. For past 8 years, the event in Sri Lanka was a very horrible incident. There is a lot of human rights violations, war crimes have been committed, genocide has happened. For past 8 years, there was no justice for the Tamil people. I think the whole issue is triggered by some anti-Tamil agencies inside and outside this country, Tamil Nadu. So there is nothing with respect to Rajinikanth, fearing of Rajinikanth, it's not an issue. But most of the
many
political
criticize
parties,
why that trip of Rajinikanth, Mr. Bhupati, should have been cancelled in the first place. If he is not an active politician, why should he take a stand on what's really happened and transpired in Sri Lanka? He was going there for an event. He was going there for an absolutely independent event.
I'll tell you. See, there was a very important event happening in International Human Rights Council. There was a sentiment against the Sri Lankan regime, Sri Lankan establishment, anti-Tamil racist Sri Lankan establishment around the world. So the Sri Lankan establishment used this kind of this cultural thing, used this particular movie, and they want to neutralize this sentiment against the Sri Lankan government. So this is a trap on which Mr. Rajinikanth, thankfully we have to appreciate that he has withdrew his trip, he has cancelled the trip. That is very good. This is to create an environment wherein everything is right in Sri Lanka. They want to create an atmosphere, they want to send a message across the world that everything is good in Sri Lanka. But actual situation is again.
But why should you dictate terms to an actor? He's going there for his commercial interest. Even if you say it's for publicity for his film, he's going there for his commercial interest. Then tomorrow when the Indian cricket team goes there, you may expect the Tamil players to also condemn what has happened in Sri Lanka and also take a stand before they play the match on the field.
I'll tell you, in what way it is different. In what way it is different? Because after this January, after this Jallikattu protest by most of the youngsters, the Tamil cinema is getting the box office. None of the movies are releasing, or even if it is released, the box office is very low. They are not getting the profit. The theatres are empty. The evening soap operas in TVs are not happening. They are not getting TRP. In Tamil Nadu, the TRP today is news. They are looking for news agencies. In TRP, if you look up a lot of news agencies, you will know the TRP is increasing for news. So that is the reason. The movie industry is down in Tamil Nadu. That is why most of the actors run helter-skelter representing the interests of the people. Though it is very low previously. Now, they wanted to ensure that this movie is getting enough endorsement, enough publicity. It's a complete PR stunt. It's very clear. We are making time and again.
These are PR stunts, and that's why there are these rumors and stories floating around. Fair enough. Mr. Bhupati, stay on with us. Stay on with us. Let's also get in Sudha Ramalingam and Professor Nalapat onto the broadcast. Before I come to you, Sudha, Professor Nalapat, do you feel it's because of the past precedents of various actors making it big down south in politics that people feel if Rajinikanth comes into politics actively, he can swing an election? Is it just because of that there are these rumors which float around of Rajinikanth constantly every time there's a big election in Tamil Nadu, be it a bypoll or a Vidhan Sabha election?
Well, I would go with what Mr. Murari says. Let's be honest. I think the time for Mr. Rajinikanth to get into politics is about 15 years. It's been over at least about 15 years ago, maybe 25 years ago. I mean, at that stage, it could have been that you could have put in a lot of effort, he could have built a political party, built a political movement, possibly done very well. But I really don't believe that today Rajinikanth is going to be in a situation where he can really make any transformational role in politics in Tamil Nadu. The way, for example, you saw in Andhra, where NTR made that kind of change, or in Tamil Nadu, where MGR made that kind of change. I think that's 15 years too late for Rajinikanth. The fact is, Rajinikanth is a very shrewd business person. He knows that he needs, as the PMK person was saying, he needs his movies to be watched. And this kind of talk, this kind of thing, that he's very relevant, he's very powerful, he's quoted, he probably expects that this will get people to theatres. So in my view, this is essentially a PR stunt.
So no
No, and it's, first of all, I think there could be winks and nods and saying, yes, he may join. And then the PR person says, no, he will not join. I think personally, I would give very little credence to any report that he's going to join politics.
So no coincidence that film of his is around the corner later this year, Robot 2.0.
Exactly.
He's shooting for that right now. There's a Diwali release later.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, Sudha Ramalingam, how do you see this? Who do you feel are behind the rumors? Is it a PR strategy, Sudha, or do you feel there are some mischievous elements who don't actually want Rajinikanth to join politics, who spread these rumors so that he can come out and deny it, and are fearful of him joining politics? What do you think is behind it, Sudha?
I think both could be the reason. We'll have to think about it holistically. It's not any one person or any one group which is trying to woo him into politics. There are quite a number of people who are crazy and who are really devoted to him. His entire fan club may want him to be at the forefront of politics itself. There could be others who do not want him. There are parties which will want him in their party and not be part of anything else. So this is something which will have to be looked at from different angles. You can't attribute it to any one particular sect of people or any particular group. I think there is a lot of pulls and pushes from both sides. People wanting him into the politics, people not wanting him into the politics are always there.
Okay, so you're saying it should be looked at all inclusive.
People not wanting him into the politics are always there.
Okay, so you're saying it should be looked at all inclusively. There are people who want him in politics and there are people who don't want him in politics, and an example of that, Professor Nalapat, was when Gangai Maran put up that... Okay, before I come to you, Professor Nalapat, Mr. Bhupati is coming in. Yes, Vinoba Bhupati.
Yes. Yeah. The only thing is, there are a lot of Sri Lankan refugee camps in Tamil Nadu. There are a lot of the status of the camps are very worse. They are not getting enough hygiene. They are not getting water. They are not getting proper housing. Everything. If at all Mr. Rajini is very much interested in taking care of the interests of those kind of people, he would have anyhow for the past so many years he would have met any one particular. He would have visited any camp. He would have played good. He would have brought in welfare to those kind of people. But unfortunately, 8 long years, even after the war, for the past 8 long years, he has never uttered anything. But I'm not going into the merit. 150 homes which are there will get to those kind of people. It's very important.
Mr. Murari and Professor Nalapat want to come to you. Mr. Murari first.
The thing is that
Professor Nalapat, yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute.
I simply want to say that the party that Mr. Bhupati represents wants to see an independent Tamil Elam in Sri Lanka. I don't believe that the government of India, any government in India, would at all welcome such a development. Mr. Bhupati's party, should it get a majority in the Indian Parliament, certainly his party will then press for an independent Tamil Elam. So he is opposed to any government in Sri Lanka because he is opposed to the very concept of Sri Lanka. And that is why he is having this point of view.
That's why, of course, he's pointing out the displaced Tamils camps that are in Tamil Nadu in the first place. Okay, well, we're going to take a very short break at that note. We're back to this big discussion. We'll also be discussing how it's interesting that this is coming up right ahead of the RK Nagar by-poll, when one of the candidates has already used Rajinikanth's photograph. Well, a quick break. Back in 2 minutes with much more. Welcome back. You're watching Inside this evening. We're, of course, talking about Rajinikanth. Is he going to enter politics or is he not? Well, there seems to be, of course, the jury out on that one. Rumors keep swirling thick and fast. And Professor Nalapath, it's interesting we're having this discussion right ahead of the RK Nagar by-poll, a by-poll where one candidate of the BJP, Mr. Gangai Maran, ostensibly tried to use Rajinikanth to sway voters in his favor before Rajini actually had to come out and put that message out that he's not supporting anyone.
Well, I think that has frankly not worked for the BJP candidate. The reality of the situation is that the BJP is now testing itself in a situation where the AIDMK has split. And what will be very, very interesting is to see the public response to the OPS AIDMK. I think the Amma AIDMK so-called. And whether the Amma AIDMK can prevail over the AIDMK Amma. So I think that is going to be very interesting because the OPS camp has been saying that the public are with it, voters are with it. And if it does well in this particular election, then that's going to be proof of that.
Yeah. Mr. Murari, you wanted to come in earlier. We lost your connection, unfortunately, but you wanted to come in earlier on what Mr. Bhupati was saying.
Yeah. No, he has brought in Sri Lankan issue. That is debated upon last time also we debated. Go to Sri Lanka or not, we have kept silent. That is a different. One point he made was, he has not said anything about the refugees in the last. The refugees did not come after the 2009 war. They have been here since the last 20 years. That's a different issue. Let's not go into that. That's not, please. Let me have my say. Yeah. So that is a different issue altogether. The question now is, you spoke about RK Nagar by-election. It is not going to be a game changer unless Dinakaran loses and all the 22 MLAs who are with the Dinakaran camp, Sasikala camp, cross over to OPS camp. In that case, the government may fall. That is why even Stalin has not put up a strong candidate there. So let me come to Rajini factor. The BJP entered the contest putting up Gangai Amaran as a familiar face. When Gangai Amaran met Rajinikanth, he immediately said he is supporting no one. The joke doing the rounds in social media is, it means he is not supporting no one, then Nota will be the largest and others won't vote at all. So he is not taken very seriously there, and he is not taking the election also seriously. Let us go back to 96. This was a different situation altogether. For 5 years, Jayalalitha ruled. It was marked by corruption, nepotism, authoritarianism, and all that. At that time, he said if she was voted back to power, not even God could save Tamil Nadu. It so happened there was a wave of anger against Jayalalitha at that point of time, and his mood also coincided with the public mood, and it led to a rout of Jayalalitha. From then on, he is being hyped as a man who will predict the election, who can swing election. That is all not warranted.
Okay, I know, Mr. Bhupati. I know Mr. Bhupati wants to come in, but Sudharamalingam, there have been rumors for long that Rajinikanth could be the BJP's hope. It's in this open political scenario in Tamil Nadu where you have the two camps within the AIDMK fighting each other, and you have the DMK also, of course, trying to get back the legacy of Karunanidhi into power by, of course, not putting up a strong candidate by R.K. Nagar, but generally getting the act together ahead of the next Vidhan Sabha elections. You have a lot of rumors that Rajinikanth could be what the BJP is looking for. He could win over a lot of the MLAs from the other sides, break the faction of the AIDMK. Yeah, Mr. Ramalingam.
I feel that as Mr. Rajinikanth seems to be a very spiritual person, a person who is, could be seen to be a very pious Hindu. BJP would like to cash in on it. And we have also known that Mr. Modi and he are quite good friends. We also find Mr. Rajinikanth having friends in other parties too. So I don't think that he would be openly getting into any political party, becoming a member of it. But if he does do it, I'm definite that he can harness a lot of votes to his side, and there would be a large chunk of people who would be followers of him, who would rather have their bets on him. I'm definite these people can make a big difference if in case Mr. Rajinikanth enters politics. But he repeatedly says he's not going to enter politics. So it is the others who are trying to cash in on him and not himself.
Professor Nalapath, you agree with that point, but you also, of course, disagree with the fact that the BJP could try and rope in Rajinikanth.
Well, Sudhar Ramalingam was quite right that Rajinikanth openly supporting the BJP would be a plus factor for the BJP. There's no question about it. But the problem for Rajinikanth is a large section of the audience may not be very happy about that. So, you have people in Tamil Nadu who are very passionately devoted to politics, who are passionately devoted to their political parties, and all of them are actually devotees of Rajinikanth. So I think he would like, frankly, to keep this flock together, and the only way to keep this flock together would be avoid taking political sides.
Yeah, and then
frankly, to keep this flock together, and the only way to keep this flock together would be avoid taking political sides.
Yeah, and then he'd probably have to give up his film career or not be so concerned with the commercial box office success. Exactly. Do you agree with Professor Nalapath? Because the other stars who crossed into politics also in the South have done just that. They've given up their film careers completely, not dabbled half and half.
And I'll just make one more point. The fact is, in this age of social media, whether politicians like it or not, the fact is that people are now going to look much more critically on those who are in politics. Politicians are now being subjected to a level of critical comment, which we see in the United States, which we see in Britain, but we have not seen in India for a very long time after independence. We are seeing that now, and that's going to be a first time for Mr. Rajinikanth. If a lot of critical comment is going to come about him, against him, it's going to be something very new for him.
Absolutely, and the point here also being whether Sudhar Ramalingam, he would give up his film career completely, as Professor Nalapath was saying. He probably doesn't want to polarize and antagonize a part of the electorate who, of course, all come together regardless of political color, for now at least, to watch his movies and make them box office successes.
I feel he is more a film personality, a person who is going to more an artistic career than a person who would be interested in politics. Of course, when time comes, if he thinks that he would like to enter politics, there will be quite a number of people who would support him in the state. Having said that, I do not think he'll venture out of the film industry.
Yeah.
And if to continue to be a successful person in the film, he'll need people from all parties to support him.
We're quite out of time, Professor Nalapath, but in the end, to conclude, how did you see the politicization of a Sri Lankan visit? Was that quite inevitable?
Well, I think it's extremely unfortunate that we still are in a situation where individuals of stature of Rajinikanth are bowing to the dictates of political parties that frankly supported a group that was involved in the, frankly, in acts of terror in India, including the assassination of a Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi. So the reality of the situation is India needs Sri Lanka as a strategic ally, as Sri Lanka needs India. And for that, we need to have a government in Sri Lanka has to work smoothly with the government of India. You can't be in a situation where you take sides, and you certainly can't support the PMK position that Sri Lanka should be divided. We in India know the terrible pain of division, and I don't think we should wish it on any other country. Yeah,
and if the government of India is not boycotting Sri Lanka, why should Rajinikanth? That's what many are asking as well. We leave it at that. Thanks to all our panelists for joining us this evening. Sudha Ramalingam, Professor Nalapath, and Mr. Murari and Mr. Bhupati, who joined us earlier. Quick break on that note. Nation at 9, up next.